Back in 2011, LT, or Little Thing, came to us from the Fort Lauderdale Animal Control Center in Florida, where LT fortunately had lots of people working to save her life. Diane and Bill, a wonderful couple from Atlantic Animal Clinic in Pompano Beach, Florida, picked her up from animal control and took her back to their vet clinic for treatment. Two incredible women named Mindy and Yvonne then facilitated LT's journey to us, and Elizabeth and her mother made the 10-hour drive to bring LT home. When she finally arrived at BCR, LT was taken to have her eyes removed, and she received the treatments that she needed. We are so thankful to the village that helped bring LT to her forever home, where she is surrounded by love and living in comfort. The story of LT is one that emphasizes kindness and the power of working together. Without everyone joining hands to save LT, she may have never had the chance at her happy ending. Thank you so much again to everyone for supporting LT and helping us give her the best life imaginable.
I think I met LT back in like 2019. Her room was one of the first rooms I got trained on and cleaned in. I just remember her being a very shy cat who kept to herself a lot, but she was always found with Sterling and Izzy and them cuddling, and then you'd have Scotty and Popcorn cuddling the bed next to them and stuff like that. Probably when she started opening up more to the staff and stuff. There was just one day I was in here hanging out with them, and she had just crawled into my lap and was just hanging out. And I was just like, okay, we're friends now. I think she's definitely got braver with visitors. She's always been super friendly, but it takes her a minute to warm up. The past couple of years, she's been very social with the visitors and actually coming up and greeting them and stuff, and taking treats from them and everything. She will lay in the toy bed and she will hoard all the crinkle balls to herself and will just start batting them all over the place. It is literally the cutest thing ever. She's definitely one of the cats I would suggest if you're coming here to just hang out and read a book or something. She's definitely one of the cats I would recommend because she will 100% just get in your lap, make herself comfortable, and she will just stay there for the longest time. It's funny watching her move around the room because I think Megan started this, calling her a little otter, because when she's moving around the room, her motions are just so otter-like, and it's so fitting to her.
The first time I met LT was actually during my interview at Blind Cat Rescue. I was so nervous. I was like, I have no experience with animals. Are they gonna take me? Because when you read the application or what the people you're looking for, I'm like, this sounds pretty serious. Was getting interviewed by Miss Kitty, and I'm sitting down and going through nervous, and then all of a sudden LT just crawls into my lap. And she was my comfort during the entire interview. Elena actually walked in. She goes, "Is that LT?" I'm like, I guess so. She's like, she never sits in anyone's lap. So she's like, well, that's a good person. Cats tell best, and the fact that she doesn't sit in people's laps at that time. Then I was trained in room 3, and that's how we really became really close, is we had that bond of being shy, timid girls. I think I cleaned room 3 for a month and a half, maybe 2 months straight. And we got this little thing where I would, say good morning, LT, and we start the cleaning process. And she started doing the quacks, and I just went bonkers over it because, anytime that I come into the room, whatever, she would immediately start doing her quacks and coming out under me, and then doing her little I don't know, almost like an otter, where she's doing this, but she's underneath you, and she doesn't know, she's just so excited, she doesn't know where to put that energy. And I can be like that sometimes, so that's kind of where we really bonded. I think the biggest moment was everyone kind of said oh, LT's my girl, and I felt very protective about that, and I was felt super special. But what was even more special was when she started doing the same thing to new people. I think that was the biggest thing, is not only was it kind of a special bond that we had, but then also the fact of her sharing that with other people and everyone else get to know her goofy personality and not just her shy self. I love how kind of disproportionate she actually kind of is if you really look at her. Her little noggin and her little paws. I just think that's the cutest physical feature. The biggest thing that I love about her is the little lip bites. She's kind of just that omen of giving everyone a chance. speak their language, their body language, and everything else that they want, and they really come into their own being. LT is a true best friend. Like true BFF. You always see her next to another cat and giving them support. Like when cats come back from the vet or maybe they're not feeling all that well, she's just right there, just doing her thing, purring and making sure that they're comfortable. And she also does that with people too. And how loving she is and how she kind of gets underrated for that, for having that timid feature right off the bat. But she's a quirky girl. It's kind of like, it's sad, you know, and this is something that I've talked about a lot recently, is like, you know, I say hi to everyone a day, but to actually get to spend time with each and every single one of them, you know, sometimes that's just not, you know, what's within my day. It really, I'll cry about this, but you know, when I come in here and I just start talking, I'll just, you know, I could be talking about, like, right before this interview, Morris was stuck up. He crawled himself way on the shelf, and LT, like, I'm sitting there talking to Faith, and LT's just beep-bopping around, like, and it just makes me feel like, you know, that wasn't just because, you know, I took care of her all day. Like, we really established that bond, and I like to think that we both get super excited when we get to see each other and actually spend a lot of time with one another.
Yes.